Good morning. I know, I almost said good afternoon.
I know.
Although, it is almost noon.
It's close.
Yeah, it is really close. Right on the edge.
This is the Must Love Yarn podcast.
It is.
And it is Thursday, May 3rd.
I changed my watch this morning.
Nice.
Because I hadn't for 2 days.
It's a very
Kind of gloomy.
gloomy, dreary day after our 80-degree day yesterday.
Oh my
with
gosh.
beautiful sunshine and gorgeousness. So
Yeah. That's okay. It's still fairly warm today.
yeah.
It's like in
Yeah.
the 60s right now. I think it's supposed to be in the 70s. So
Yep.
it could be snowing, which
Thank God
8
it's
years
not.
ago we had a whole lot of snow this time of year.
Yep.
Yeah, we just moved into our house that we're in now and
Yep.
got buried in snow.
Yep.
But anyway, you can find the
We're-
store.
We're coming to you from
From
our
our
yarn store in
store
Shelburne,
in
Vermont.
Shelburne,
If
yeah.
you're new. If you're not new,
Right.
you're just laughing at us.
But you can find the store on all kinds of social media on our website, which is mustloveyarn.com, and then everywhere else is Must Love Yarn. So Pinterest, Instagram, Ravelry. We've got a group, Facebook, Twitter. Most of the places we're all as Must Love Yarn. So
Yep. If you just Google Must Love Yarn, I think we come up pretty much.
yeah, and if you go to our
everywhere.
website too, I think we've got links, to most of our other social media.
Yep.
And then of course, if you're watching us on iTunes, then we also have a YouTube channel.
Yep.
And vice versa.
Exactly.
So if you, depending on how you like watching or listening or whatever.
What's your preferred method of podcasting? Podcast viewing.
Yeah.
So, and I'm Angela.
And I'm Kelly.
And you can find me out on social media, Ravelry and Instagram as Junior Bird Kid.
And you can find me on Instagram as Kelly O Spins, and you can find me on Ravelry as Kelly Spins.
Nice.
Yep.
And thanks to everybody for the new follows lately on Instagram and
I
the
know.
new friendings on Ravelry. It's been
fun.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
I really like seeing where everybody's from and like what they're making.
Yeah.
You know, because people that are in like Southern Hemisphere,
They're already
we've got some in
doing-
Australia and stuff, and of
Yeah.
course our seasons are flip flopped.
Yeah.
So
They're
it's-
coming into winter
I
and
know.
we're headed into our
I
warm.
know. So it's kind of interesting. I always forget about that part of it, and I'm like, yeah, we're doing a summer top knit along. We're like, oh yeah, they're way past
winter. Actually, that wintry.
Well, it depends on where because
are.
they do have, in Australia and New Zealand, they've got, well, in South America too. I mean, there's some places where they have a lot of really steep mountains.
That's true.
So they get winter.
I guess I just think of more Australia being really warm.
And and you think about the desert and but
The outback.
yeah.
Sorry, Crocodile Dundee might be my exposure to Australia. Probably not accurate at all.
One of my favorite movies growing up was The Man from Snowy River, because of course I was, have been into horses for a long time. That was always and there's snow in those.
That's beautiful. Well, and a huge amount of the Lord of the Rings series was filmed in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So New Zealand, yes, I get, because there's huge mountains and more, but that's not, I guess, what I think of when I think of Australia. So
yeah,
if you're
a
watching
huge
us from
continent.
Australia, let us know. It is a huge continent.
It's big.
Yeah.
It's big.
Yeah.
So it's like here we've got
everything,
all kinds of different climates. So
yeah. I'm sure they're probably the same. So somebody can correct us if we're wrong.
So
yes,
we start our podcast. It's a knitting podcast usually.
Yes.
Sometimes with some crochet or spinning or sewing or food or whatnot. Cake.
I'm working cake in for. I'm gonna see how many episodes now I can work cake in.
I know everybody's like, you've had cake the last, used cake or talked about cake the last couple of podcasts, but it's cake.
I know.
We try to start our podcast off with our picks of the week.
Yep.
And what the pick of the week is, if you're new to the podcast, is every week Ange and I will pick a product in the store that we want to offer to you at a 10% discount.
I'm just laughing because someday we need to film me when I come in and be like, I don't know what I'm going to pick this week, and watch me wander around the store. I mean, what are we going to offer?
What about? Yeah. So we've we've been doing it related to yarns that would work for our summer top knit along.
Yep.
When we started the sock knit along, we picked sock yarns. So we try to a lot of times incorporate yarns or products that are going to be relevant to a knit along that we might be doing, or a seasonal something, or a trend, or that kind of thing. So we have a couple new picks for you this week.
Yep.
And we do, back in episode 73, we have a small tutorial about where to use the coupon code. We're going to give you a coupon code in just a few minutes. We stick it right in between our two picks.
When we remember.
Oh, we remember. Sometimes it comes after, sometimes it comes before. You never know. And we always pick the coupon code name on the fly.
Yeah.
So we don't pick that in advance.
Nope.
Because
why be organized?
I think you guys are used to that by now, and you find it somewhat hilarious when we're
having a little debate about what the coupon code should be.
Yeah. So, do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
I can start.
Okay.
So my pick of the week this week this is our sort of not last hurrah, so to speak, but I think this is probably the last time we'll offer some yarn related to the summer tea knit along. So that started May 1st, and it's running through the end of July. So there's still plenty of time to get some yarn and get involved, but once we get too far down, it just doesn't make any sense. So we've been showing you a lot of DK and sport weight summer yarns for this knit along, and so I thought it would be fun to go in a little bit of a different direction. So my pick this week is our Juniper Moon Farm Finley and Finley Dappled. So I'm going to pull the dappleds out of the bin here because they're on top. And this is a lace weight yarn. So it's a merino silk blend, and it is really, really wonderful to work with. And you can make a lot of really cool garments. I just did a quick search on Ravelry for lace weight and basically t-shirts. And there was a whole host there's a couple that I was like, ooh, maybe I could make that, like cute little tees and a couple nice t-shirts with lace detail. And totally appropriate for summer because super lightweight. Mm-hmm. I also used this to make my, what was that, featherweight cardigan. Yep. And it's perfect for summer. So the yardage is good because it is lace weight. So each of these skeins of the dappled has 798 yards.
So you don't need very many skeins for a summer top.
Maybe 2 at the most. Or if you got a dappled and then had a lace weight solid to go with it, you may only need 1. So the dappled retails for $29.99. But that's partially because of the silk and partially because of the yardage. But it's fantastic to work with. Yeah. So we have these great colors, some of which are a little darker, but still would totally work for summer. Yeah. And then the regular, let me see. I was gonna throw those in my actual knitting bag, and then I was like, that's probably a bad idea. They just probably would end up coming home with me, not even me realizing. So again, same yardage, 798. The solid colors retail for $24.99. And we've got quite a few different colors. So we've got sort of our neutrals. So a cream color, black, and a nice, this is actually like a taupey brown. Yeah. We've got some fun,
a lot of jewel tones.
Jewel tones, nice purple, green. This is coming a little purpley on the screen. It's definitely more of a blue.
And I think I just got a few more colors on order because some of them have been discontinued.
Okay.
So by the time this goes live, I think some just came in.
Oh, so we might have a few more.
So we might have some other colors that we're not showing you here. I love
this one. It's like this dark
Thankfully,
chewy.
They haven't discontinued that one.
I might have to buy this just because.
I know.
And then we have this nice red as well.
Mm-hmm. That red is really lovely.
Yeah, it's a really nice shade. I think this is the one that I used.
Mm-hmm. I think so too.
But this tealy kind of colors.
Yeah.
Rappahannock, is that really what the title?
That's the color name.
That's the color name. Sweet.
Yeah, I don't really know how to pronounce it, but that's what it is.
Oh, because it's probably Italian, isn't it? Oh, crocodile. No, that's not Italian.
Nope, they're not Italian.
Oh. So the Finley is my pick of the week. If somebody was looking to make a nice lace weight shell or short sleeve tee for the summer knit along, or for just a regular shawl.
Don't be intimidated as lace weight, because
no.
many of the patterns you're knitting at like a 4 to Ange found one that
I found one that was on an 8. So let me show you.
So like, yeah, usually you're knitting at like a 4 to a 6 US 4 to 6 needle, but just so it makes like a nice lightweight shell.
Yep. So this one here, Insouciant by Julie Hubbard. This one right here is knit on a US 8. So it's going to be a really open fabric, but also really lightweight and
a nice layering piece, because I don't always like wearing tank tops just
by themselves.
Yeah. So it's nice to have something lightweight just to throw over.
Can you imagine that in that teal color?
Just stunning, with like a little black cami or tank underneath. That'd be really pretty.
Dang it! All right. So anyway, probably for quite a few of the sizes, you need somewhere between 2 and 3 of that particular tank. Just looking at the yardage requirements, unless you know what I didn't look at. I wonder if you hold it double. Yeah,
2 strands.
Yarn's double.
You do use 2 strands for that. That's why you need some yards. Because I was like, that seems like an awful lot of yardage for.
Yeah, and why it's on 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so that one's actually going to knit up more like a sport or DK. But there's plenty of others. Let me show you just a couple. You just keep talking here. Couple of the others, like
that one was super cute. I like that.
Yep. This one, which is a lace weight. So, and the silk in that is going to give.
What's the name of that one?
That one is. I'm just going to show you guys because Galapagos.
Not quite, but almost.
So I mean that one's knit on a US 1.5. So that one you're going to be with a tighter fabric.
Yeah.
So just, I think, the takeaway is don't not think of lace weight because it seems scary. There's this one, Bonnie by Tin Can Knits.
Yeah, because you aren't necessarily going to be knitting on 0s and 1s,
And, something like a shell like that, it's not going to take...
That one is really lovely.
There's no sleeves.
Yeah, no sleeves. So if you're sick of knitting things with sleeves.
I was just going to see what needle she knit that one on. That one has you knitting on a US 4, so that's still going to be a relatively open garment, but and would be relatively quick. So that one takes 600 to 1200 yards for any of the sizes. So at the most you'd need 2 skeins, and depending on what size you were, you could knit it out of 1 skein of this. So it's a pretty affordable project. So those are
a little summer top for $30 or less.
Yeah. And with, the discount code.
Yeah.
But I might have to make that other one out of this teal, the one
really
where they held
pretty.
double. Because even on 8s, that's going to knit up super fast.
I'm knitting mine on 8s. So this is what the fabric will be similar to.
Yes.
So I just have to say, I was casting on when we got going, and I when Ange first started talking about her pick of the week, I was you can probably tell I was counting. I was sitting over here counting my cast on stitches. I got my exact count for my cast on stitches.
That's amazing.
I had to cast on 103, and I had 103 on my needles.
Good job.
I know. It was wild.
Good job.
I just had to say that. Okay. Now I'll get to my pick of the week. So my pick of the week are... Oh, right. We have to do our code.
Let's do our code.
Sage stock.
Hold it.
Hold it.
Time out. Whoo, penalty. No. Well, why don't we just do weekly pick Woodland?
Weekly pick Woodland.
Just for fun.
You will know why in just a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
Weekly pick Woodland will get you Woodland.
Woodland.
Everything one word.
And we put
Woodland.
I put it right
Yeah,
down.
we'll put it down there. We'll get you 10% off the Finley and Finley Dappled from Juniper Moon Farm, and it will get you 10% off these adorable little bags. So I have done these before. Last time we had the orange fox and the yellow squirrel bags in stock, and I love the little pink cheeks on him. That was
so
the one I
cute.
really liked. So these were ones that, and I've done the weekly pick on these two before, but they have added 2 new colors. So now they also have a gray squirrel bag, and we're kind of dark in here, but so they have added the gray squirrel bag. So now there's the yellow and the gray squirrel.
And on the gray squirrel, he's got little like blue cheeks.
Yeah, he's got blue cheeks
so
on this
cute.
one. And they have a cute little charm on the zipper. This one's a little squirrel. And then they had the orange fox to begin with. They added the gray fox as well.
That's super cool.
And that's really cute too. And there's a little fox charm on the zipper. And then this one is brand new, and it's limited edition, so once they sell out, they sell out. So from our distributor. These are all 100% cotton bags. They're made in the U.S. I think they're made in the Pacific Northwest. Okay. So they're all handmade, and like I said, U.S. And this is a little sock pouch, and I thought this would be super appropriate for the shorty sock knit along. So if you need a little sock pouch. And the other fun thing, these come with the little Kitchener stitch fob on them for their little zipper pull. And these are actually made by Katrinkles.
Nice.
So you get the little sock bag and the little Katrinkles Kitchener stitch on right on the bag.
And what are those?
So the sock one that comes with the little tag here, these are $24, and these are only just one color, and then these guys are $20 each. So each one of these are sell for $20. So you can get 10% off these guys, and then this one as well.
Nice.
So yeah, so I thought that was fun. So if you're a top-down sock knitter, the Kitchener stitch is always kind of handy to have on your bag.
Yeah.
So I remember it now because I've done it a gazillion times.
Yeah.
But, so I thought those were super fun. So weekly pick Woodland.
Yep.
Will get you 10% off these, or the Juniper Moon Farm Finley. The coupon code is good for 2 weeks.
Yep.
So you can check these out, and I've put links to everything in show notes, so you can follow the link, down below that if you're watching on YouTube.
Yep.
And click on that, and that'll take you to show notes, and then you can click on these individually.
Take you right to.
That'll take you to our online shop page.
And we do it that way because YouTube won't let us hot link.
Yeah.
So we can hot link on our website where our show notes are.
Yeah.
But we can't hot link, and hot link is just allows you to click on the
clickable
word
link,
and it will send you where you need to go. So that's why we do it that way.
Yeah, it just makes it a little bit easier, I think.
Yep.
To have it that way.
Yep.
So.
Absolutely.
So those are super fun. So if you need they're great for like a very small project like socks or a hat or something like that. Or they're great little notions pouches.
Or I will say almost anything lace weight.
Yeah, the lace weight really.
I remember when
up.
I was knitting featherweight and it was like this big.
Yeah.
And people would be like, "Oh, what are you working on? Something for your child?" And I was like, "No, this is a sweater for me." And they were like, "What?
That's not gonna fit you."
Yeah, it stretches out. And that Eyeblink shawl that I'm working on is in like a little kind of tiny bag because it just scrunches up pretty easily.
Yeah,
so,
it will.
Anyway, so I am not wearing any hand knits today.
I am not either. I had in show notes that I might be wearing an Ilchick, but I'm too warm to wear that.
Yeah.
And it's not 100% done. It's like 99.5% done. So, yeah, but I can show it because it's almost an FO. By next week, it will be a true FO. So all the knitting is done, and almost all of the end weaving in is done. I finished the the knitting this morning before I came in, and almost all of the end weaving in is done because I did a lot of the color work ends this weekend.
Nice.
I was sitting and waiting for my husband, and so I have this end here, and then I have 2 ends here. So I've got this one, and then I have to use the other end to close up the wee little bit of hole that is in the underarm,
which you almost always
which
get.
happens.
Yeah.
So there it is, you guys.
Yay!
Yay! So the sleeves I did make longer than what it tells you in the pattern, just by 2 inches. You'll see I was talking about in the outtakes. So this little marker here is the 7 inches that it told me to knit to. So I tried it on when I had this one sleeve to that point, and it came to a little bit short, like just above where my watch is. And of course this wasn't blocked yet, and I probably could have just done a quick steam on it to see if it was going to stretch, because it is superwash. Superwash has a tendency to grow longer.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't, because I figured if it is too long, I can roll these up. And because I was making it to be a long sleeve to come down to, below my wrist bone, I wanted it long. So, and I can always, if it's too long and I don't want to roll it, I can always just pull this back a little bit after it's blocked.
Well, and it's a style that even if you don't roll it up, it just would give you maybe more play.
Exactly, you can kind of
like,
push it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because this is, there's a nice 2x2 rib.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really stretchy, and it's going to stay on your arm. So if you push that up, then it'll just kind of create a little fullness at the arm. So
nice.
it is just about done.
Great.
I know.
Looks awesome.
So I will, when I get some pictures of me actually wearing it, I will post them, and then I can have Ange insert them, because it's a little hard to really be able to see it while I'm sitting.
Yeah.
So I will hopefully get that done this weekend.
Nice.
Yay! I know. I was in the final push. I was so close to getting it done, and I'm like, I just have to get that done, because I don't know. This is like the weirdest thing for me, being so monogamous with projects, but I haven't wanted to start anything until I finish something.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
It's really good. It means that I'm not going to have many different things to show you guys, but maybe I'll just have more FOs to show you.
Well, there is that.
So I know there is that, right?
There is that.
So yeah, I can't wait to block this and then try it on. Of course, now it's fairly warm, but we're still going to have some cooler mornings.
It's not.
Where I'll be able to throw this on.
Exactly.
And wear it, so.
Exactly. So I have a finished object. Pretty excited.
This is really cozy. Yay! Look at you.
The Hungry Horse hat is done.
Nice.
And I did manage to catch a couple of pictures of it on.
Nice.
The little Miss Abigail, and they're up on my project page. She was starting to give me the stink eye. Why are you torturing me? So this is a quick DK weight hat, and it's called the Hungry Horse hat. And one of the reasons why I picked it is it would be a good use for Jody shawl leftovers for people who are doing the Jody shawl knit along. So the pattern actually calls for it to be 3 colors. So these 2 sections here can be in 2 different colors. I had these, and so I was using what I had. This is a small person's size, but it's not going to take a huge amount more yarn to knit an adult size, because in fact, there's not much difference between, literally I could wear this, and it also fits my kid, because it's garter, so it's really stretchy. Actually, this actually fits me pretty well.
Yeah, it does.
It's like the little kid size. So, and it's got this great eyelet stitch with the variegated, and as you can see, it plays really nicely with variegated yarn. So if anybody's using variegated yarns for their Jody, like this would maybe be a nice accessory to go along with your shawl and use up some of your leftovers. So that's the Hungry Horse hat. You can get that on Ravelry.
Nice.
So yay, finished object.
Speaking of horses.
Yeah.
My horse turns 30 on Sunday.
Holy smokes.
I know.
That's amazing.
I cannot believe it.
That's amazing.
It is. She's been with me since she was 7. And I always give my husband a hard time. I joke with him.
She's been with you longer than he has.
Yep.
I knew exactly where that joke was going.
Yep. Yep. She's a very good old girl.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So we've kind of started the slow search of perhaps looking for another dog. So I didn't, not to be a downer, didn't really share it on the podcast, but we had to have our dog put down a couple months ago. So we've kind of started poking around and just keeping an eye out. It's not as easy as you would think. We have 3 indoor cats and 2 small children. So you have to make sure that that's going, whatever you adopt is going to come into the house. And we're not doing a puppy. So
yeah.
I tend to look for more adult dogs. I've had pretty good luck adopting adult dogs. But it takes some time because you have to make sure.
Find a good match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially, with the kids.
Yeah, the cats I'm less worried about. They can take care of themselves.
Because Abigail's, she's
so young.
She's very young, and you need a dog that's going to be stable around her. So if she, gets in his face,
she would be used to our previous dog, who literally she could just crawl all over him, and he was like, whatever. He kind of give you those sad eyes, like, why are you doing this to me? But he was really tolerant, maybe a little bit too tolerant. So that's her experience. So I have to be very mindful as we're looking for a new dog.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's kind of, and baseball season started, so we're into the realm of practices and games.
Knitting time?
Maybe. I have 2. One will not sit and watch a game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So if I'm not the parent who's wrangling the younger child, then yes, I can sit and knit.
Yeah.
In fact, they all went to practice last night, and I stayed home and got to work on iBlink, which is why I only have 4 rows left. So,
Dad is not coaching?
No. Nope. Somebody else is doing that.
Yeah.
So, basketball is more his thing.
Yeah.
Anyway. So.
Cool. 'Tis the season.
'Tis the season. Yes. So, works in progress. I'm gonna start in the middle of the list instead of at the top. So I had hoped beyond hopes that I was going to have half-finished object for you guys, and actually have one of these jelly roll socks done. I'm knitting on the toe now, and I need to try it on. It's probably close to being ready for Kitchener, but I just need to check to see where I am, if I need to put a couple more rows on it or not. And then I will have one sock down. Just pretty excited. I'm jealous of all the folks that have been posting their completed sock pair on the Ravelry boards already for the knit along. I know. And then I'm like, well, just remember, lady, you're knitting that crazy bead and lace shawl, which is sucking up a lot of your other time. So this is trucking. Should definitely have a half finished object with that one next week, and hopefully have the second one cast on. It's not as good of a travel project as many other types of socks, just because of the different 2-color ribbing sections that are in it. But it's still really fun. And even those sections, like, once you get to a certain point, it's totally fine. So, and it's a pretty intuitive pattern. So, yeah.
Nice. So, besides my Manilchik, which that was my major whip this week, I just cast on for my summer tea today. Yay. Because I showed you guys my swatch, which I got blocked. And I just posted on Instagram on the Muscle of Yarn page that I got Gage with my first swatch. Yay!
Yay. And thank you, Jane, for assuming that was mine. It's not.
So I cast it on with some of you guys for our summer top knit along, and I would love to be able to have this done before I head to England.
Nice.
Maybe take it with me.
Cool.
So it won't be a shop sample for a couple weeks, but
It's all right.
So yeah, so I am, let me show you, doing Jessie's Girl, which I showed you guys before. And it's just a nice garter stitch top, t-shirt type top that, as you can see from the sample, you can see through it a little bit. So I was going to plan to layer this anyway over a tank top or t-shirt or whatnot, depending on the season and how I'm going to be wearing it. But it'll be a really nice, open, airy piece. And I'm using the Elspeth Leveled Empathy in the dark linen colorway. So it's this kind of nice brown.
Nice.
So that is what I'm going to be working on. This and my Changes shawl by Mina Phillip, which I didn't bring over here with me because I really haven't put any more rows on it because I wanted to get an Anilchik finish up. Yep. So now I'm going to have the tee and a shawl on my needles, and those are the two that I'm planning on.
Did you see, I'm going to totally hijack this conversation. Did you see that Mina is doing a sweater design based on the patterning that's in the center of that shawl?
Oh, no. Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
No, the last thing that I was thinking you were going to say is that adorable little sweater that she just finished with the cables for the child size. She's going to do an adult version of that, which I'm really excited about.
She is going to do that, but she's also
I didn't see that.
Working on doing another pullover sweater with that pattern on the front, and I think just plain garter in the stockinette stitch in the back.
Oh, nice.
So I was very intrigued by that. And then she also had out on Instagram, was it Instagram? Had to have been Instagram. Like a cute little pullets for little kids pullover sweater that she was working on, and I was like, oh,
because that yarn was stunning for that piece.
Yeah. But anyway, so I am super excited about all of that because, as you guys know, I can't help but crush on Mina all the time, and her patterns are awesome.
They are lovely. Yeah, she does a great job, and I love she uses textures that are really intuitive to knit. And I know we've talked about that, but they're nice because you don't really have to pay attention or count. You can just kind of do them, and it's great.
Yep.
So they're interesting to look at, interesting to knit without being too consuming of your mind space.
And I have not cast on Changes yet. It's ready. Everything's all together.
Once you get eye blank done.
Once I get eye blank done, that will be a game changer.
Yeah.
So. And for those of you that are following along, Eye Blank is the lace and bead shawl that I am knitting, helping a friend out with. I have 4 rows left and the bind off. So very likely I will have that as a finished object. I better have it as a finished object next week. Deadline's coming up. It's a deadline knit.
Yeah. Because there's a wedding.
So if I get it done this weekend, which I should, that's my goal. It may not be blocked up, but I can at least come and bring the unblocked and show you guys on the podcast.
You won't have loose beads and...
So the finished one, it's going to be really easy to transport. So I should have that to show as a finished object. And once that's done, then the idea was I can start on some of these other things like Changes and the summer tea and that kind of stuff. Though I might continue on with my let's finish some things that are on the needles, which is what is going on here. I am in the middle of a row, but it's going to take me a while to get to the other end of the row. So last fall we had a truck show here with Green Mountain Spinnery.
Yep. We have another one
another one coming up June 2nd. And this pattern this was some yarn and a pattern that I bought at the trunk show. So this is, the shawl design is called Mercury Rising, and it's designed by Larissa Demos. Larissa, hi. I love this pattern. It's a really great two-color shawl with sort of short rows and some striping.
That's really pretty.
Thank you. I'm really enjoying it. And this was, I had cast this on, and I can't remember what I got distracted with, and it just got put aside. And I was looking around like, when I finished the hat, I was like, I really need to start something new, but I didn't really want to go try to figure out what new project to cast on. And the bag that this was in caught my eye, and I went, you know, you should really just pick that back up and start working on it again and get it done, because then you could wear it on June 2nd when Green Mountain Spinnery's here for their trunk show.
Nice.
And I think they're gonna have some more of this yarn. So this is like a single that they have dyed.
Don't wholesale
They won't wholesale
one.
it.
Yeah.
No.
So we don't. It's not one that we have in the
No,
store, but you can get it directly
it's
from Green
so
Mountain Spinnery.
soft and pretty.
It is lovely.
And maybe they'll bring some kits, but if not, if they have this yarn, you could use any 2 colors. You know, primrose would be great for this. Any sort of sock yarn would be fantastic. So it's a great pattern. Again, one of those ones that it's pretty intuitive once you kind of get going, but with just enough interest to keep you a little more focused. So
Nice.
yeah. Apparently it's shawl season here, because that's all I've been knitting lately.
Okay.
And hats.
I always come back around to shawls. I really enjoy knitting them.
Yep. And then in terms of, like, for me, upcoming project, are you done with your whips?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I don't.
And my Nanilchik, which is now an almost FO.
Yeah.
That's kind of all I got.
Nice.
I told you I didn't have much.
Nice. I know what we were going to share this week, and we did not get our act together. Is the next season's of Vermont box, which is due out, but we'll show it next week.
Next week we can show it. Yep.
Yep. So the next seasons of Vermont box is coming out May 15th. Yep. We've got some great stuff lined up for this
So we'll pull
box.
everything for next week and show it
we
on
need
the
to
podcast.
do pictures and start getting the description up anyway. So, so if that's something that interests you, we'll be showing that next week.
Yep.
So, sorry, just non sequitur like all over the place today. Wah, wah. Yeah. Upcoming projects. I'll probably cast on a summer tee at some point. Nothing's catching my eye. I think that's the problem. I was telling Kelly, I was like, I think nothing just has like grabbed onto me and said, you're the one, and which is why I just haven't been motivated to pick one out.
Yeah.
I think.
Or you have too many options.
That's part of it.
You guys were so good at recommending.
Oh, that's part of the problem.
Tops.
Oh my goodness. Yep, I want to make all of them. I think partially too what's happening is I have these other things I'm trying to wrap up, and so my brain is just saying, no, we're not going to look at this other stuff because you can't.
Yeah.
So I think once I get that eye blink shawl done, things might change.
Yeah, I think so too.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, it's hard when you're knitting for a deadline because you have that like in the back of your mind always.
Right.
So.
Yep. And I have Snug to finish as well. So that was a DK weight sweater that I was working on that wasn't that far away.
That was the black and brown.
Yeah, just in time for summer. It's cold enough here. It's not like it's not gonna get used. But again, that's another one that like I think niggles at the back of my head because I'm like I'm so close to being done with it, and I could just be done and then be ready to do another sweater. Yeah. So. Anywho.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So I for upcoming projects besides possibly another summer top, which I talked about 2 podcasts ago, I think. The cowl shell. That one, which is in show notes, you guys can check that out if you want. So I might do that one. It's like a tank top with a cowl type neck, you know.
Yeah.
But we were so kindly gifted a pattern.
Yes.
that is really, really stunning. And we are going to do a giveaway for this as well. So Jen Sheelan so kindly gifted this pattern to us, and also is going to provide a copy for one of you guys. We haven't come up with an idea yet for what we're going to include for a giveaway, but Jen is actually hand dyeing her own yarn as well. So the yarn she lists for the pattern are her own hand dyed yarns.
Awesome.
Which is very cool. And I've got to send an email to Jen in the next day or two anyway. Sorry, Jen, I haven't gotten to that yet.
Hopefully you're not watching this on the podcast first. If you haven't got an email yet, one's coming.
You'll be getting one. So this shawl is really stunning. When I saw it, I was like, yep, this is going to have to be next on my list.
Yeah,
it's
cool.
it's really lovely. It's a huge crescent shaped shawl. It's called Bride by the Sea, and I will show you the picture. And I have to get close so that you guys can see it. Sorry, we're blocking out everybody. So this is the pattern, and it's really lovely. So thanks, Jen, so much for sending that to us. And this is definitely going on, once I get my change of shawl done, that's going to be, I think, the next shawl that I knit. It's really beautiful.
So I will say, one, we'd love for you to check out Jen's yarn, but anybody that's coming up for the trunk show, the colors that either Green Mountain Spinnery does with this yarn or that Christy from Fiber Stash does with her yarn would make excellent 3-color shawls. And Christy does a lot of colors that sort of match in the same family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to check out Jen's stuff, if you go to jensheelan.com, so it's JENNSHEELEN.com, then you can check out her stuff there, and of course her pattern is available on Ravelry as well. But we will be organizing a giveaway for her pattern.
Do we want to do that as a Ravelry? Well, why don't we do this? We'll do it as a Ravelry board giveaway, and just head out to the board and look for Bride by the Sea. We'll put up a thread called Bride by the Sea, and the prompt will be in the thread.
Yeah. Yeah, we can definitely do that.
So then we can get it up before the next podcast airs. So why don't we do it that way?
We can do that. The other pattern that we mentioned last week, but I didn't have it printed, so I couldn't show it to you, was the Giving You Cake cowl by Corrado Larkin. He was so kind to give us this pattern as well. So I just wanted to show you a picture of that because we did mention it, and it's a nice 2-color fingering weight cowl, and it's a great pattern, unisex, great for a guy, girl, So I just thought it was really handsome looking, and 2 fairly high contrast yarns would work really well for this. This is one that he designed for Do You Knit for their for the New Jersey Shop Hop yarn crawl. I'm not sure what they call theirs, but then he saw we were the cake episode. And he asked if he could send along this pattern to us, and of course we jump on the opportunity because there's some really great designers out there, and he's up and coming with designs.
And we don't always see everything, so I may not have seen this.
I know,
and it's such a great pattern.
Yeah, it's really lovely. So thanks both to Jen and Corrado. We love these patterns, and we're so happy to be able to share them with you guys too, because there's a lot of patterns out there. And
I'm gonna file that cowl away for some Christmas knitting, because I think there's some men who that might be nice for, but also just depending on what color you use, it would work well for women as well. Yeah,
you could really change the entire look of it just by the colors that you use, and if you use 2 that were more close in contrast, it would look so completely different than 2 really high contrast yarns. You could do a speckle and a solid. There's so many different options. And you know, because it uses 2 skeins of fingering weight. I mean, most of us have a lot of fingering weight sitting around.
Anybody coming to the trunk shows? Green Mountain Spinnery or Fiber Stash would sell, both have yarns that would work fantastic for that.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
Plugging that away. So speaking of
events and such.
So our next big event, June 2nd, is our Meet the Farmers and Trunk Show in the afternoon, starting at 2 o'clock.
Yep. So the trunk shows will be starting at 2. I think the farmers presentations will have starting at 3.
Yep.
And there are 3 different farmers who are coming and giving talks about their various experiences being shepherds.
Nice. Be awesome. We are going to film that. We're not going to live stream it, but we will film it and then put it up on the YouTube channel. So if you're not local to us, you can still take a peek at
their stories. Yeah.
Their stories, because they are pretty amazing.
They're very cool.
So we have that. June 9th is Worldwide Knit in Public Day. And we are going to be having some festivities here at the store while Kelly is away.
I know, I'm going to be in London, so if anybody hears of events that are happening in London, let me know.
There are.
Because I think it'd be fun to try to catch up.
It is Worldwide Knit in Public Day.
I know, worldwide. It's not just national, so yeah, definitely let me know if you hear of meetups.
Yep.
Because that would be fun.
So what we're going to be doing here is 11 to 2. We're going to have some tents set up on the front lawn in front of the store for people to come bring your own chairs, hang out, knit in the green belt, wave at cars as they drive by, hopefully not cause an accident on Shelburne Road.
People are good at doing that themselves.
Absolutely. They don't need us. And we are going to do like a potluck style event. So we will be providing some sandwich fixings and bring your favorite side, salad, dessert to share. Snacks, drinks, whatever.
Yep.
And so we're going to do it pretty low key. Just come hang, knit out, be like, knit group from 11 to 2 with some food.
Yeah. Super fun.
Yeah. And then in July, we have a few things going on. So July 13th to 29th is the Great Northern Yarn Haul, and we won't sort of belabor that point here. We've talked about it in previous episodes, and we'll link to some more information. It's basically a giant yarn crawl from Lake Champlain to the Atlantic Ocean. So super fun.
3 states and like 20 some odd stores participating.
Yeah.
So it's huge.
Huge. July 14th, Latvian colorwork mitten class with Donna Dukanis. It's an all-day class. It should be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I might try to figure out.
We're going to have details coming out soon. I'm just finalizing the price of that class, because we are going to be including lunch.
Okay.
Because it does span the whole day. So I mean, you're more than welcome to bring your own lunch too. But we're going to be offering lunch.
Nice.
With it. So we're just going to finalize pricing, and then I've got basically the whole thing ready to click live. But I just have to do that one last thing so that you can start registering for it.
Awesome.
There'll be openings for as many as 20 people.
Cool.
So, quite a few people can attend if they'd like to. And Donna has done extensive research on Latvian knitting and the history and, current motifs and things like that. I mean, she's just a wealth of knowledge, so we're delighted to have her.
And I think that's a great maybe kickoff to, I know it's the middle of July, but to maybe Christmas knitting, getting ready for fall, and the cooler seasons. So and it's in the middle of the
at the very beginning, first weekend of the yarn
haul. So if you were looking to do some of the stores over this way and wanted to partake in that class, you could do it.
Yep.
July 28th, at the end of the month, is our evening at the ballpark with the Lake Monsters. Stitch and Pitch. We're working on getting some fun goodies for that. It should be fun. It's always fun to go to Lake Monsters.
Mm-hmm. It is fun.
Yeah.
Hot dog and beer.
Hot dog and beer. And Champ.
And Champ.
Can't argue with Champ.
Champ's a riot.
Champ is a riot.
Champ gets up on top of the dugout.
Yep.
And like does little dances, grabs some kids and jumps
Yep.
around with them.
Yep.
He's hilarious.
Bothers the visiting team.
So
you know.
Champ is our beloved Lake Monster mascot.
Yep. Who, without fail, has freaked both of my kids out when they get to about the age that Abigail is, which is almost 2.
Fun.
We went to an event that Champ was at, and literally she, full on, like, screaming, crying. Like, William used to just hide. She just was going to voice her displeasure to everybody.
He has big googly eyes, and they're kind of funny.
He has crazy eyes.
He does.
That's what William used to say.
Crazy eyes.
Yeah. Champ has crazy eyes. That's why I don't like him.
He's really cute.
He is cute.
He is cute. I think he's really cute, but of course I'm not an almost 2-year-old.
I mean, kids get into that where
Yeah.
it's just. I think if she saw Champ with the head off and saw that there was a person in there, I think she'd be okay. But it's just this big weird thing.
Yeah.
That's scary, and so just having none of it. But anyway, yeah, kids are fun.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows what goes on into their brains.
I know.
Got a few net-alongs running, just a couple. And there's more to come. We may have started to plan another one in the outtakes. Possibly. See, Kelly didn't know that that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, you want to knit it too? Yeah, we should. Okay. Anyway. The Jody Shawl Knit Along is wrapping up at the end of this month, so still plenty of time to knit that. It's a 3-color DK weight shawl by Hohi Locatelli. There's some gorgeous finished objects in the FO thread on Ravelry. Amazing. I can't wait to see the rest of them.
We have just a couple of the kits left in one colorway.
Yeah.
2 of the colorways have completely sold out, and I've
Yep.
got, I think, a couple left in one other colorway. So.
Yep. So those have been pretty popular with the Piggy Jane fibers. So pop over and check the finished objects out. There's been tons of chatter in the chatter thread, so lots of people showing their works in progress and the yarns that they've picked out. It's been amazing.
Yep.
Shorty Sock Knit Along is running through the middle of June, so when Kelly gets back from her travels, we'll pick for that. Also, already tons of people posting finished objects in the finished object thread.
Yeah.
So lots of first-time sock knitters. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I love it.
It is. It's great. And shorty socks are a great way to start too, because there's like half the knitting because you don't have to knit the whole leg.
Don't have to do the leg.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's going on, and then our summer tea knit/crochet along started May 1st, so just a couple of days ago. Runs through the end of July. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. Been getting a few questions. I think I need to update the thread. So it's wasn't intended to be for works in progress. So it was intended to be for new cast-ons after May 1st.
Yep.
May 1st or later. So
you could have swatched before May 1st.
Yeah. Totally fine to swatch. So I need to go out, I think, and make the first post a little more clear on that point.
Yep.
But just wanted to bring that because I have gotten a couple questions about that in the store and actually on the boards.
Yeah.
So, and there'll be prizes. We'll have giveaways for all of those prizes for all of those knit-alongs, and we have not sorted out what they are yet. But as you know, we
do fun prizes.
We do fun prizes, and Kelly and I tend to do some stash diving because we both seem to have curated stashes.
Just a little. Just a little.
Just a little.
Oh, and we have had questions about the needles we've been using to knit, and we're actually both knitting with Zings. I'm using a size 8, and I'm using interchangeables.
And mine are 6s, and they're interchangeables. These are the longer.
Yeah, I have
tips.
the longer, the 5-inch tips.
I have
so
both perhaps.
We're now stocking the interchangeable tips in both the 4-inch tips, which you can do a 16-inch size circular and up, and then the 5-inch tips, which you can do a 20-inch circular and up. Yep. And we also have the double points. And we're probably going to be bringing in the fixed needles as well, because I know if you're like me and you're not a huge fan of double points, you might want some of the smaller sizers for socks and stuff for Magic Loop, because the US 4 is the smallest that the interchangeables come.
Yep. Nice.
So, and they're all color coded. They're really smooth, and I haven't had issues with the joins on these.
No, I haven't either.
And I enjoy them. They're not as slick as some metal needles, but they're also a little bit more slippery than a wood or bamboo.
Yep.
And the tip for me is great. It's kind of in between a really pointy tip and a really rounded tip. It's a really happy medium.
Yep.
Of course, on the 8s, it's a little bit bigger than the smaller sizes, but I still find it works.
It's pointy enough.
Works really well. So if you're doing like knit 2 together or something like that, you can really get in and get both stitches, and but without it being so sharp that you're really splitting a yarn or something. Yep. So I've been really enjoying knitting with them, and we've been selling a lot. So you guys have been finding them on our website.
Yeah, and they have an amazing price point.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, in terms of the cost.
Yeah.
Is just incredible.
It is.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So I sidetracked us.
Bound to happen.
What else do we have? Do we have anything else?
I don't think I have anything else. Oh, you have something else?
Look what Ange got me. It's a little Secret miniature donut. It's a rainbow donut.
It's a rainbow donut.
I am going to totally use that on my summer top, because this is just lots of brown, and this will be like really spice it up. So, how awesome is that? Ange is the best. Look at that.
I might have an Etsy problem. Actually, what I have is an Instagram problem.
Yeah.
Because I see stuff on Instagram, and then I'm like, oh, I should get that. And I'm like, oh, this is Stitch Marker. It's not that much money. Oh, yeah, I'll throw it in my basket for Kelly, too. Because she'll like it.
I know. It's so fun.
I do. I have my own rainbow donut Stitch Marker, too. Or Progress Keeper, too.
It's awesome. Last week, 2 weeks ago, you gave me my cute little chicken.
I know.
Tape measure. She spoils me.
I find all kinds of cool stuff, and
she likes to share the love.
I do, and I don't always like to wait for people's birthdays, because I have another idea for her birthday. So
I have an idea of what that idea is,
but part of me is like, you know what? I don't really think I want to wait for her birthday, because I think it's so funny and so cool that we should just do it anyway. I should just do it anyway. But anyway, sorry. Sidebar.
Yeah, we're getting sidetracked.
Sidetracked.
That's okay. You guys are used to it.
Absolutely.
And we don't really have a lot of like funny outtakes for our end section. They're
no, it's more just like us
chatting
randomly.
Yeah.
People loved William's guest appearance last week
cute.
at the end, helping draw for prizes. He'd been bothering me like all day, because I told him he was going to get to do it. He was like, can I draw now? Is it now? Can I do it now?
That was cute. And then when you went to ask him if he wanted to draw, he's like, what?
I know.
What?
He was sucked into whatever he was watching on Netflix. Which he did. He was not in a chair that was picking up on the screen, but he still like was sitting twirling
over there
the entire time. So I don't know how he did not get dizzy, but whatever. Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
So I think that about does it for us.
Yeah.
I think next week we will. I don't have anything really going on next week.
I think next week we're fine.
I think next week is good.
When we get into June, it might be a little more interesting when you're away on how that's going to work exactly. Right. I suppose we could chat about pre-taping an episode or so, and then 1 week maybe just take off.
Yep.
And like we did when I was away.
Yep.
So
yeah, we can do. We'll figure it out. But we'll have some other content coming up for you guys, and at least over the next few weeks.
Oh, I know
can't
what we should
believe
do.
June is like, it's coming. My husband was like, over the weekend, he's like, yeah, he's like, we're like 5 weeks away from vacation.
know.
I was like, it's gonna go so quickly.
What? Probably what we'll do is we're gonna tape the Meet the Farmers, and then one of those
that's a
weeks when
great
Kelly's
idea.
gone, I'll
You can
post
put
that
that up.
as the episode.
That's perfect.
So
That's awesome. Sweet.
awesome. Yay.
So we want to just say thank you
Yes,
to
thank you.
all of our returning viewers as well as our new viewers.
Mhm.
If you're a new viewer, we hope you enjoyed the show, and
It is probably almost like always like this.
we're pretty. This one wasn't too wild and crazy.
No,
Sometimes we get really goofy, but
Yeah.
it's still early.
we haven't hit the
So.
mid-afternoon like
Yeah.
weirdness yet.
Yeah. So
Just save that for yourselves, wrap this afternoon.
she won't care. So yeah, I know we're buying yarns for fall.
I know, isn't that crazy?
It's crazy because we haven't even gotten spring yet. But yeah, so we're buying fall yarns, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Awesome.
sweet. So I guess we will see you guys next
We'll see
time.
you guys next week.
Bye. Oh, I Jean was like, "Is this really Angela taking?" I think she meant talking.
Wait, what? Oh, she doesn't know who posts out on the Instagram feed.
Right. Because I said who's participating, must love yarn, blah, blah, blah. I'm making just girls with little empathy. And I got Gage on my first watch. That's hilarious.
I'm gonna come out and comment and be like, I am a swatching master. And no, it's not me.
That's funny.
That is funny. One comment. Reply. I am a swatching master. Oops, searching master.
Searching.
Apparently autocorrect does not like
Swatching? Yeah, no.
swatching.
It doesn't.
And that's Kelly's. Which is why she got Gage.
I don't know about that.
Just go with it.
Okay.
And that goes.
That's really funny.
So I was watching the new, the most recent Legacy Fiber Arts,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all on their way to, or getting ready to go to Maryland for Needles Up.
Yeah, Chelsea was texting me yesterday
Yeah,
because they're gonna come in early next week. We have
with their
yarn.
stuff. Oh, that'll be sweet.
Yep.
So Sue was talking about wanting to make the Comfort Fade cardigan, or I think she'd actually already started on it.
Oh yeah.
But she didn't like the fade. She wanted to do it in a solid color, and I thought, oh my god, that's brilliant. Like, because the style of it, the shell collar, and like the look of it and the silhouette of it is
It's really lovely.
it's really lovely. But I've also been sort of like, you know, the whole fade thing, like it was kind of fun. I made the shawl, I made that one sweater, but like
Yeah.
for long term, like how is that really gonna work? Like in
Right.
5 years, am I gonna? I'm
Still
probably,
love that piece.
yeah, I'm probably
Yeah.
not, but I love the look of it. And so I think she was knitting it in, I want to say elephant ears on their DK.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, oh my god, that is such a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
So, so when they come in early next week, will you, maybe, and when you know when they're coming, let me know, because I might pop over and be like, buy that lot of DK, because then I'm gonna buy it.
I'll tell you when they're coming off camera.
Off camera, okay.
So that
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. No, that's fine.
I have that whole sweater quantity of fiber stash that I got in the TARDIS blue tweed in DK.
Oh,
That would be
be
fun.
beautiful.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, as a comfort bake cardigan. Yeah,
Because I like that cardigan.
I
It's
do
really
too.
Cute. I love like big shawl collars.
Yeah, and
on
the reverse
sweaters.
stockinette and like just the details on it, like it looks like one of those like super cozy, squishy cardigans you would just throw on, like on a day like today where it's like, you know, kind of miserable. I mean, the other thing is if you put in a Primrose order, I was gonna wait and see what came in with the DK for that. But if you know, if they're gonna be here, then I may come see what they have left for the DK. Because they were doing a bunch of neutrals, and I know they have a bunch of new ones, and even their non-neutrals are gorgeous.
They are
so
really lovely. I like their foxtails colorway. Yes. Oh, that is lovely. That is like right in my
I know.
happy
So
place.
all right, okay. So that's we can coordinate that off camera.
We can.
Sweet. All right. Awesome.
Sweet.
So are you? Do you want to get that cast on before we?
Doesn't matter.
Get going?
I can count while you're talking about something. When
Oh
I
God.
Oh God.
All right. No. That's
Well,
fine.
I don't have a whole lot to talk about because I seriously was just working on my Nanilchik and like cranking on that.
I have a little bit of stuff to. We always manage to fill up. We'll just fill it up with other
We
stuff.
do. We always get to an hour.
I don't know how some days.
No.
All right.
Oh, and we have a shout out too. I didn't put that on there. Super fun.
I'm gonna add another one.
Okay.
Don't let me forget. Based on the email that Jen sent us.
Oh, right.
I thought that was cool.
That was very cool.
Okay, so anyway. It's just I thought that
this is in our
I know, it's in our outtakes.
So they're, you know.
I picked this one up because I thought, hey, if Green Mountain Spinnery is coming, like, wouldn't it be cool to actually have a Green Mountain Spinnery finished object that I could show
That you're
Larissa,
wearing.
like, hey, look, I actually finished her shawl, instead of be like, yeah, I cast it on and then it got cast aside for something else. It's so close to being done. And it's such a cool,
It's beautiful.
beautiful pattern, and the yarn is so beautiful, and I suspect they're probably bringing more of this type of yarn with them for the truck show. So people can get excited. I figured I'd show it, and I should have it done by June 2nd because that other shell's almost done, and once that's done, oh boy, watch out. It only took me an hour and a half to do 2 rows because of all those
Carol, on her
damn
last bead row, what did she tell me? It was like an
2
hour
hours.
and a half.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Something like that for that one row because there were so many beads in it and the lace.
Like
They're
it's like every
gazillion
other
stitches.
Every other stitch is a bead.
Yeah. I mean, it's lovely, but
It's gorgeous. No, I know. And I'm gonna run out of beads. I had to text Phyllis and be like, so I know I've dropped some beads, but I don't think I've dropped that many. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna run out. And she's like, oh no, mine took like 2.5 boxes. I'm like, okay. I was like, I can go couch diving to like find the rest of them, but I still don't think it's gonna get me there.
that's hilarious. That's really funny.
Oh yeah, 4 more rows and a bind off. I'm pretty excited. The end is in sight.
Yeah. I was kind of excited when the Nanilchik, when I was like closing in, I got one sleeve done and then I'm like, okay, one more sleeve to go. I actually made them a little, 2 inches longer than it said to in the pattern.
Oh yeah.
Because of how,
you can roll it up.
Well, exactly. And I tried it on and I knit the one to the 7 inches that it told me to, and I tried it on and it stopped about there. Of course I hadn't blocked it yet, so, and with superwash sometimes it will drop, but I was like, I'd much rather have them long, so I knit it another 2 inches, and then, so I think it'll be fine, because if it ends up being too long after I block it, then I can roll them up.
Yep.
And I'd rather have them long than short,
Yep.
unless I'm intentionally making them,
Short. Yeah. All right, we should probably get this show.
We should,
like
so
8
I can
minutes in.
get the dogs home.
Oh yeah. And come
Before,
back.
before my...
Okie dokie.